All right, welcome back, everybody. We're just going to do this real quick because there are fish jumping everywhere. I am on a new body of water, and I'm going to figure it out today. Uh, this is a really deep, skinny body of water, just for you guys. And I don't know if you'd call it middle of Wisconsin. I don't know. It's like mid-state. Um, but it's got a bunch of different species in it, and it's got a river going in and a river going out. So my hope is today that because it's been so hot and the summer's been so crazy, that this lake, because of that, will have some flow and some good oxygenation, and I have a lot of different species to chase. So let's get started. Look what I found. So apparently this lake has yellows in it, and they're decent size, so I'm going to keep them. So in Wisconsin, there's no limit on these guys. Okay, let's see if we can pile up a bunch of those. Just out here suspended in the middle of nowhere. There appears to be tons of them out here. These guys fry up great. So, anybody wondering what a yellow bass looks like? So they kind of look like white bass, but they don't get much bigger. And they have those broken up lines on them. Obviously, you can see the yellow in the belly. Pretty easy to tell once you catch a couple of them. Okay, so I just tried a plastic worm for a little bit to see if I could get them to bite that, but they wouldn't go. So I'm going to see if they like minnows here, because I got a couple of those to use. Yep. That didn't take long. Definitely minnow eaters out here. Okay, so I tried all the fun ways to get these guys. Tried casting for them with a bunch of different baits. Usually they attack them pretty readily, but I don't know why today. They just seem skittish, which is not normal for yellow bass. But I have minnows, so I'm going to use them. On another school. Converting one little fish to a little bit bigger fish. Okay, so I figured out I have to just use these minnows, and then the idea is to just kind of toss it out and drag the minnow across the surface. These guys are like 100% wanting to come up for these baits. If I put it down by them, they don't want anything to do with it. Literally right on the surface there. That was goofy. So these guys are just sitting underneath my boat apparently. So I'm using my live scope to try to learn this new lake, and I'm seeing schools all over the place, but these guys are showing up there, so like you're not even seeing them. Oh, it feels better. There we go. Need more of you guys. Okay, same method as always. The jig and a minnow. This works pretty much everywhere, so never pass it up, but I think I got about a dozen, maybe 2 dozen of these guys. I'm gonna keep a couple more and probably call it after that because I don't really feel like cleaning 100 of them. What are you? You're a yellow bass. You're huge. I just hooked into something real big. I don't know what it is. Oh, that's a white bass. I didn't know there were white bass in here. I'm not interested in cleaning these guys today. It's a school of white bass. Get in the net. Okay, so I found the school of white bass. Very tempting to clean these guys. Okay, so that's a second white bass I found. I had a ball of fish go underneath me. I dropped down on their head and bounced it a couple times, and one of them whacked it. My favorite thing about white bass is they play nice. Now, I'm just debating if I should try to chase some of those around on purpose, or if I should just stick with my yellow bass plan today and just get a couple more of those guys and go home. What would you guys do? A couple more yellow bass, go home, chase white bass because they're fun. Comment below. I think that's another white bass. If it's a yellow, it's big. Oh, it's a giant yellow. That was cool. Just to show everybody, that's what a big yellow bass looks like. I'd like to get a couple more of those guys. Okay, so I don't know the last thing you guys saw. I'm down to a couple of minnows here. I just decided to keep white bass. I found a bunch of schools along this break line here. It drops off pretty quick. So what they're doing is just cruising back and forth of it. Basically just casting out and bouncing my minnow back. And they're crushing it. The only reason I'm keeping it is because the one I got in there could make a sandwich itself. It's like 13, 14 inches. Those are good ones. If you guys have never eaten white bass before, do yourself a favor. I'm bleeding him in my net over the side of the boat, so the blood goes out there, and then I have ice in my ice chest. Make sure you do that. Otherwise, it's not advised to keep them unless you know what you're doing. So, yeah, bleed them out, put them on ice right away, cut the mud line off, good to go. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get a couple more. Funny thing is my battery died earlier because it was too hot out, and yeah, I caught like a 5-pound channel catfish. It smacked my bait pretty hard. And I wish I would have got it on film, but yeah, I didn't have my camera on because it was too hot. So hopefully we get a couple more good fish here before I gotta go. Otherwise, hit that thumbs up. Yay. So apparently my camera shut off. I was just sitting there drifting. I lost the school of white bass and I was sitting here drifting and I started coming shallow, and yeah, I just got the biggest white bass I think I've ever caught. That thing's huge. You guys, this thing's gigantic. Look at the size of that thing. That thing will have some mistakes on it. How big is this? 16-inch white bass. That thing's huge. Okay guys, so hopefully you guys saw that. So my battery died, and I was just drifting along here. There's this big long brake line I'm on, and yeah, I just kind of drifted along and almost dragging my jig, and then suddenly I got thumped, and I looked down and my camera was off. But that was a 16-inch. That's a 16-inch white bass. I have them bleeding over the side of the boat. I'm still gonna turn them into steaks, cause yeah. What size white bass would you guys mount? That's a good question. I kind of want to, I know they can get up to 20 inches and like 5 pounds and like the Dakotas and stuff like that. And I really do want to mount one of these days. So comment below what you guys would mount. Otherwise, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's new little lake adventure. This is a tiny little lake. Like I said, it's about central Wisconsin. It's kind of a river flowage. It's got an in and outlet, real deep, but so far I think it's pretty fun. I might come back here. Comment below if you guys want me to come back here. Hit that thumbs up if you guys like the video. See you guys next time.